There's so many things, even the devotees who are practicing for a while and they have read for a while, they have heard so many lectures, but still sometimes the doubt comes in the mind. What is this? Do I really have free will? What is this destiny? What is this karma? And it is so many times we actually hear, but still somehow or the other we are not able to digest. What is this? Karma, destiny and free will. What is the role? Whether I have free will, if a destiny is everything, in whatever karma that I do, what is my free will's role? All of these questions keep coming in our mind. So that is why, at least for this week and next week, I am going to talk about this topic, demystifying karma, destiny and free will. Even before I start, I was supposed to have a whiteboard here. So imagine there is a whiteboard and someone frantically writes something on their notebook when I am asking this question, and hopefully we'll put them into group. So my question is, what are your questions on this topic? Any questions that come to your mind? And I'm going to answer them in this and in the next session. 2 sessions. I'll try to talk about these this important topic. Any questions that comes to your mind about karma, destiny and free will? If there are no questions, we can go for Maha Prashadi. Sitaram ma'am.
Yeah. Last Tuesday we are reading Bhagavad Gita, where one of the slokas says...
Sorry, just a minute. Who's writing for me? Who's my scribe? Okay, you are typing, Prabhuji? Frantically. You have to cover all the questions. Okay. Yes, Prabhuji. You are reading Bhagavad Gita.
Maybe not maybe the question, when it comes to the karma, I'm like, see, whatever the doubts you got it, but again, when I'm reading this one, it automatically strikes when you said karma. Like it says, you don't need to do, they are already dead, you just do your duty, okay, you proceed with that. So that means the destiny is already there. It is already there, everything is there, whether you do it, you don't do it, it is written there. That's what Krishna said to Arjuna, you do it.
So?
Another sloka. So, I mean, it is already there. I mean, what is going to happen tomorrow in 10 days?
Okay, so if destiny is already there, what can we do? Let's frame it like all whatever Sitaramaya Prabhuji has said. We can write the question. If destiny is already there and everything is predestined now, then what is the purpose of doing anything? Okay, yes, Mataji.
Can karma be changed?
Can karma be changed? Bhuvi, you raised your hand? No? Okay. Any questions from here? Do you not have any question about everything is clear? Free will, karma, destiny? Yes, Prabhuji?
Prabhuji, so according to like Jyotish Shastra, they'll make
astrology, yes.
Astrology, so that destiny is like, they say in front, I mean up ahead. Does it change for a devotee? How does...
Okay, good question. So the question is, in astrology, like even when you are born, they can actually predict everything. If it's a good astrologer, they can mention everything. So if everything is predestined like this, there are 2 questions. What is the purpose then? Like everything is happened, now you just sit there and relax. Anyway, the child doesn't do anything. They just sit there and cry and eat, drink milk. But anyway, so if astrologer can predict everything, then what is the purpose of action? And the second one is, for devotees, can it change if it is already predicted? So, yes, Mataji.
Then, like, everything is predetermined. Then, when the free will exactly act? Like,
Okay, very good question. If the destiny is there, where exactly free will act? Where is our Vinay Prabhu? Is he here? Come on, Prabhu, you are not asking any question on free will, destiny and karma?
He said he doesn't have any.
No point asking.
all answers are written.
Yeah. Mallika Mataji.
Probably to some extent we do have free will in the material world with, of course, karmic consequences. But then and if we had this small desire to go back to Godhead while we were alive, when we are dead, why is that free will taken away, and why is the last thought we have while dying?
Okay, good question. So, free will is there when we are alive, and then whatever activity we are doing, there we have this little free will. But at the end of the life, when we are dying, whatever the last thought comes, based on that we get the next birth. So why the free will is taken away at that point in time? Interesting question. Okay. Anything else? Yes.
Prabhuji, after finishing all of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that now you decide what to do. So looks like he has given some kind of free will to us.
So Krishna is saying that now I have told you, now you do as you wish to do. So that means Krishna has given some free will. Okay, that's a comment. Anything else? Any other questions? On yes, Vinay Prabhu, come on, please start.
So I heard soul is present even in stone, right? So when it is there is no consciousness there. Then how it is doing karma to take rebirth or
Yeah, soul does. The stones doesn't have soul. Prabhu. There is some mountains like Himalaya or whatever, like they have personality and they have soul. But any ordinary stone that you see, they don't have soul. So what should I do now? Now that question.
I was getting worried.
Okay, you think about it. About other question.
Maybe he's referring to Ahalya. She was in a store.
Prabhuji, here Sudhanva Prabhu is saying that, are you talking about Ahilya when she became a stone?
sorry, Prabhuji?
Are you talking about Ahilya Devi who became a stone? Yes?
It's also one.
There is also one. But you are talking about in general all the stones. No, all the stones doesn't have soul.
But super soul will be there.
Yeah, there is each atom still have the Supreme Lord, but there is no soul in that. It doesn't. There is no jiva in the stone. Okay, I shouldn't be answering this question. I'm just collecting all the questions.
So when super soul is there, soul is also there.
No,
Okay.
it's the other way around. If the soul is there, super soul will always be there. But when super soul is there, it doesn't mean the soul has to be there. Probably.
Okay. Done.
How is karma of each other related? Like,
Karma?
of each other. Like,
Oh,
it has their own-
the husband and wife? How the karma of the people who are around, are they related? Especially like in the household. There was an interesting question somebody was asking. I know that husband and wives, their karma are related, but what happens when they get divorced? Are they still related or they're not related? I said, okay, interesting. What people think. That is true.
It can be like the collective karma also, they say, how it acts. Like, it's very hard for God to choose.
Collective karma. How the collective karma works?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, how collective karma works. There was some questions here. Yes, Bhavishya? What is free will? Very good question. What is free will, Prabhu?
Does karma apply to all living entities?
Does karma apply to all living entities, like animals, plants, everyone? Yes? Many people are saying yes. So, okay, fine. Oh, Mataji is answering for me. She is saying yes, but unfortunately that is wrong answer. No, that is also wrong answer. I will come to it.
This is questions only.
Is that a question? No, Venkat Prabhu.
Trying to answer.
How can we reduce the reactions for the karma?
Very important question. How do we reduce the reactions of all the activities that we have done and whatever we have accumulated?
What is the difference between karma and curse?
Oh, what is the difference between karma and curse? First time somebody asked me this question. Interesting.
At what point, when you're progressing on the devotional path, do you stop performing karma?
When you are doing bhakti process, at what point in time you stop doing karma? Yeah, what was the question here? Something was getting discussed, right?
Vanisha is asking about free will.
Oh, free will, I'm going to answer. I'm just collecting all the questions. Don't worry. Your questions will be answered.
When you're practicing bhakti and you fall down from your practice, is it because of karma, destiny, or free will?
Interesting. If you fall down from your process of bhakti, is that because of your karma, or is it because of destiny, or because of free will? Very good question.
All three.
Make it true. Now afterwards? Okay. Any other questions?
How do you pave the pathway for the destiny if it's already predefined?
Okay. How do we get the destiny if it is already predefined? Okay? Yes. Shiva Prabhu.
Different yogis, bhakti yogis, jnana yogis, and jnana yogis.
What about them?
How the karma apply?
Oh, how the karma applies to all the different kinds of yogis.
Is destiny is predefined?
Is destiny predefined?
If karma is only action, or is there any bad thought also is karma?
Okay, only actions give reaction or thoughts also give reaction? Good question. Yes, bro. Sure.
How much karma we take in characters?
Where is my bank account balance? How do I know karma balance? Very good question. Where is my karma balance? Can I take my passbook in the bank and get it updated and just understand how much is the balance there? Okay, any further questions?
I have a free will, okay, Prabhuji, but I don't want to give free will my children.
I am fine with the free will. I don't want to give free will to my children. Okay, can I not give free will to my children? Let's frame it as a question instead of comment. Can I not give free will to my children?
How much free will do husbands have?
Pass. That's a different topic. In Grihastha Dharma question, seminar we will cover that.
Scripture says, many when we do certain things like taking a dip in Ganga.
Atonements.
Like taking a dip in Ganga will eradicate all the sins, and then doing few things like when you give in charity, will do some certain things that eradicate. So when it is eradicated, does it mean it's really eradicated?
Okay, when the scriptures give various statements like bathing in Ganga will remove the sins, or going to Holy Dham will do this. If you do that, you will get this. So at that time, really all the sins, are they eradicated? Okay, good question.
When you're doing an activity, if you have good intentions but the impact is bad, do you still accrue karma, or vice versa?
Your intention was good. You wanted to do some good activity, but now something bad has happened. Are you getting good reaction or bad reaction?
And vice versa, for if you do good
And the opposite.
How many types of karmas are there?
Very good question. How many types of karmas are there? Are you catching all those questions, Prabhuji?
That's my last one. What Kirtan Prabhuji asked.
If you have good intentions but bad impact, you still get karma.
Recording is there, right?
Prabhuji, there is one question from Vidhi Mataji.
Yes.
Do children get reactions for their karma? If no, then what age they start building reactions?
Very good. Who's asking?
Vidhi Mataji.
Vidhi Mataji?
No.
She's just looking after the children. So
She's still asking from inside. Okay, good. So at what age the children start getting their own reactions? Very good question. There's a story about it. We'll cover that. Anything else? Yes? Sunil Guru.
Does karma create your destiny?
Does karma create your destiny? Good. Okay, there is a lot of questions. Okay, I'll take one or two more, and then otherwise I think we'll take 10 sessions. Yes, Shiva Prabhu.
So what is karma example? Example, someone going to a bus stop and he missed the bus. Can you think that as a karma thing?
Okay, what is karma? Vinay Prabhu.
So destiny created by karma, can we change that?
Destiny, can you change the destiny?
Yes, destiny created by previous karma, can we change that?
Okay, so can we change destiny?
That is already asked.
Already asked. Okay.
Sanivas Prabhuji and Lavanga Mataji. If destiny has to be result of karma, then how can we do free will?
If destiny is result of karma, how do we have free will?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Prabhuji.
is karma created by thoughts, words, and deeds, or just?
I think we asked that question earlier. Yeah, Venkat Prabhuji asked that question. Okay, one last question and we are moving on to start answering the questions, some of them at least. today, and the rest of the questions I'll try to take next week, next Saturday. One last question. Anyone? Any takers? Yes, Prabhu.
This is a continuation to Bharadwaja Prabhu's question. On the Ekadasi stories, if we read, every time it says like, follow this Ekadasi, so
Yeah.
all the sins for several lifetimes will get eradicated. So how do we understand that?
Yeah, I think there was a similar question. The same question. Okay, fine. Dharmik Prabhu, I'll take that one last thing.
Is it best for a devotee to do bad karma? Like if a devotee does something bad and like a non-devotee also does it, is it worse than the devotee because he has taken
Oh, if a devotee does a bad karma and the same bad karma is done by non-devotee as well, what is the difference in their reactions? Very good question. Amazing, analytical, thoughtful question. Okay. Now, we will start trying to answer those questions, at least some of them today, and in the remaining 40 minutes only? Okay.
42.
Yeah, okay, next 42 minutes we'll try to answer some of the questions, and then next week we'll try to take the remaining questions.
Not a question, Prabhu, just a clarification. Is destiny and reaction same?
That's a question, no?
Because reaction is not.
Okay, write one more, Prabhu, for Vinay Prabhu. Is destiny and reaction same? Okay, so first of all we'll try to answer, what is karma? What is karma? Now karma is a very overloaded word. Many times in Sanskrit, each word itself has many meanings. And depending on which context we are using it has different meanings. And in general, we use the word karma in 4 different contexts. So the first one is that we say that, for example, when we say it is my karma, and we say that we all have our karma, isn't it? What it means is we all have a duty to do, we all have activity to do, and that is what is the first meaning. So many times karma is actually used in the terms of what the activities that we are doing. So that is one meaning of word karma. Then sometimes we use the word karma when it means the reactions of your activity. So for example, when we say, I am suffering my own karma, or I am bound by my karma, what we are actually meaning that karma is actually I am bound by the reaction of my activity. Or when we say that I am suffering my own karma, that means I had done some activity which gave me bad reaction, and that reaction I am suffering. So the karma can also mean action or reaction as well. The word karma can be used in these 2 contexts. The third one is both the combination of action and reaction. For example, when we say law of karma doesn't mean law of action or law of reaction. It is a correlation of action and reaction. So that is why there, when we call law of karma, there karma is referring to the system of action and reaction. And sometimes we refer to karma as good action. Especially when we are talking about, there are 3 different types of karma that we can do. Karma, vikarma and akarma. So karma there is referring to activities which gives good result. Vikarma is activities which give bad result. And akarma which doesn't give any good or bad material reactions or results. So there the karma is referred to good actions or punya. So whatever activities that you are doing which are giving you good results, that is good action. So depending on the context, this word karma itself may mean different things. But in general, they are referred in the similar context. If you see either action, reaction, or the system of action or reaction, or good action. So there are various different meanings, but they are very close to each other. So that is how the meaning of karma is. Then the next thing is, why should we even think about and know about karma? Like I'm saying that this week as well as next week I'm going to talk about it. So why it is even worth talking about karma? What do you think? Yes, Lord.
Bad action would also be karma, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but it is called vikarma.
Just
It helps to streamline our actions and perform what is karma in terms
Okay.
of good actions.
Streamlines our actions. Yes.
because we read in scriptures it's due to karma, like whether good or bad, we are taking birth again and again. So we should know about karma.
Okay. So we take birth again and again because of that. So it is good to know about it. Mukesh, bro?
To make a choices wisely. To make a choices.
To make wise choices. Yes, Venkat, bro.
Destiny. What is our destiny would be decided by our karma.
Destiny is decided by our karma. That's why it is important. Yes,
To
Shirisha?
reduce our sinful actions if you know about
To reduce the sinful action. That's why you should know about karma. Yeah, very good. I think most of you have answered. So main important thing is every time that we are doing some activity, we have choice. We can do it this way, that way, or some other way. And each way that you choose, there is a particular consequence for it. And if you understand that when you do some activity, you are going to get some consequence of it. So there is going to be some result. Then you can make choice intelligently. Because you now know that whatever action that you are going to do, it is going to have some reaction. And sometimes you are going to get good reaction, sometimes you are going to get bad reaction. So you can actually use your intelligence to make the wise choice. You are building your destiny for future. You are going to get some good or bad result. Suppose you are hungry, simple thing. If you go and eat pani puri in Mumbai, what is going to happen? Your stomach is going to get upset. So as simple as that. So, thing was, you are hungry and you have multiple choices now. You can go and eat pani puri, stomach is upset. What are some of the other options that you can do? Go to ISKCON Juhu and eat prasadam in Govindas, and then that is transcendental, so you get akarma done. What is other option that you can?
You can buy fruits.
Buy fruits and eat. That is important, right? Buy fruits and eat. Then you are doing karma. Okay?
People may choose eat meat.
Yeah, somebody may eat meat. What is the result of that?
Karma.
Vikarma. You are going to get bad result, bad reaction. So multiple things, multiple choices are there. The same thing, like you are hungry, you can either eat pani puri, you can eat some vegetarian food, you can eat some non-vegetarian food, or you can eat prasadam. And each of them have different result. And if you know the result of each and every activity, then you can actually choose wisely. You can decide, my God, if I actually kill a bird, chicken is a bird, right? I'll tell you a story, and then I'll go to that chicken. And this is important from that perspective. Dhritarashtra, when he had all his 100 sons killed after the Mahabharata war, and he was very upset. He was saying that I was so fortunate to get 100 sons. Now who has 100 sons? You can't even manage one or two. He had 100 sons, and they were all grown up, and they were all powerful, and they were all princes, right? So all of these wonderful, from his perspective, wonderful children that he had, 100 of them, and now they were grown up, and they were going to be now the kings. That is what he was hoping for. And suddenly they were all were killed. So he was very upset, and he said that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. I'll ask him, why did that happen? So he asked Krishna after the war, that how come 100 of my sons were there, and now all of them are gone? What bad karma did I do? Now, unfortunately, we do not have that facility that we can just ask Krishna whenever something happens. We can just ask, hey Krishna, what happened? Like, what did I do because of which I am suffering the reaction now? But anyway, we get this understanding from the scriptures that whatever we are suffering for now or enjoying, there was an activity which was done before. So Dhritarashtra had this facility. So Dhritarashtra asked Krishna that what did I do because of which my all 100 sons were killed? So Krishna says that 50 lifetimes ago, you were a hunter. And at that time, you actually caught a father bird. And then the father bird actually flew. So he ran away from you. You were very angry. So with your arrow, you made the bird blind. And still the bird flew. So you were so angry. So you went on the tree and there was a nest of the bird. And in that nest, there were 100 birdlets, 100 children of that bird. And in that anger, you killed all of them. All 100 small birds you killed. And that is why you are facing this reaction now. So Dhritarashtra said, hey, I did that 50 lifetimes ago. Now what were you waiting for? Why did you have to wait for 50 lifetimes to give me that reaction? You should have just given in that same lifetime or maybe the next one. Why you have to wait for this lifetime for giving that reaction? And Krishna says, now getting children requires, like getting a son, requires some piety. And you have to be suffering for killing this 100 sons. So you are accumulating the piety for the 50 lifetimes so that you can have 100 sons in this lifetime. And now that you have 100 children, your piety that you have accumulated, you got 100 children, but you had that reaction where you had to suffer for those 100 children that you had killed. So now that is why your 100 children are now killed. So you are getting the same suffering as the bird got. Your 100 children are killed and you had killed the 100 children of that bird. Bird was suffering. Now you are suffering the same as the bird. So this is very important to understand. So this is how the karma works. So if you kill a bird, that bird is also a son, probably a husband or a wife or parent or whatever. Some relationship is there and we are causing so much pain. And if you kill them, Krishna is thinking that you have killed a jiva, a living entity you have killed. You are going to get the same suffering either in this lifetime or the next lifetime. And we have to actually be taking care of this. It is not just some chicken that you are eating or some goat that you are eating or some cow that you are eating or some pig that you are eating or whatever you are eating. So it is not that. It is also from Krishna's perspective, we are a living entity and that goat or a chicken is also a living entity. If you cause suffering to that living entity, you are going to get the same suffering in your life, either in this lifetime or in the next lifetime or after 10 lifetimes. So sometimes we actually just think, hey, why my children have died or why someone has died or whatever, why I am suffering like this. We don't understand that we don't connect these reactions to all the other sufferings that we have caused in some previous lifetimes or in this lifetime. So we have to actually take care. We need to understand this correlation, and that is why we are saying we should learn about karma so that we can correlate that any suffering or enjoyment that we are getting is a result of something that we have done, no one else, we have done. And that is why we are suffering now. Yes, Mataji.
Prabhuji, in that case, now if you tell to anybody, I am not killing the chicken. Somebody had killed, they are selling in the shop, I brought it and I am cooking.
Good question. Can we write it down? That I haven't killed the chicken, somebody else has killed it, I am just eating it. Do I get any reaction? Extra questions? Or
This is connected to
Okay.
question. It's that I've heard quite a lot back in India that people keep asking that, hey, well, in the Dwapar Yuga and other yugas, well, in Pandavas used to eat non-veg. Why can't we?
who says?
Exactly. So people have this. So are there any scriptures or something that we can actually give solid answers to?
Okay. Does the scriptures recommend eating meat? Yes, Anish?
Why the reaction done by that time?
Third time?
Reaction 50 years.
Why after 50 years? So I mentioned because the 100 children you cannot get without collecting the pious karma. So for 50 lifetimes Dhritarashtra took birth and doing punya karma so that he can get enough punya so that he can have now 100 children. Now that after 50 lifetimes enough accumulation has been done and now he can have 100 children. Once he gets 100 children, then that reaction can be given to him. So now his reaction is given now in this lifetime. Anish, Prabhu?
What if we kill a poisonous animal just about killing? Is that bad karma?
If you kill an animal, if you protect yourself and you kill someone, do you get karma?
Very good question.
Poisonous, like
Poisonous. If someone poisonous animal like a snake was going to bite you and you are going to die and you killed it, what reaction you get?
Prabhuji, why then Krishna waited till when they grow big? Because Dhritarashtra killed only small birds. He can kill all 100 Krishna.
Good question. Why Krishna waited till they grew?
You need to get the intricacies of karma to kya.
Why did he not kill when they were small? Any other things? Okay, so we are talking about mainly here about why should we know about karma. So the main idea is if you know the law of karma, any activity we are doing, we can actually think about what options do I have. And we can also think about if I do like this, then I may get this reaction. If I do this, I will get this reaction. If I do this, I will get some other reaction. And then choose. The result is going to be for me, for example, when I am eating, the result is I am going to get some nourishment, right? So instead of actually taking the path of eating meat, probably the simple thing was eating some fruits or eating some vegetarian food, or the best is to eat some prasadam. And that way, you can get minimum reaction in vegetarian food or the transcendental result when you are eating prasadam. So, intelligent choices we can make if we know about karma. Then what is this law of karma, basically? So, law of karma, Prabhuji is, okay, tell me.
Probably from the last, you mentioned that we know about the reaction, we can take the intelligent
choice.
Choices, right? What if I don't know what is the reaction?
Very good question. If there is ignorance of the law of karma, what happens? I'm going to answer that little later. That's why I'm not answering immediately.
This is related to vegetarians and non-vegetarians. So plants also will have the life. That's what.
Yeah, vegetarian as well. Plants also have lives. So is there no karma while eating plants? Yeah. I'm going to take care of that as well.
Just on the previous one, like it will also help to reduce the suffering, knowing that okay, whatever I'm facing now, the misery I'm facing, it's because of my past karma. That will greatly reduce the suffering.
So it's a comment. Very good, Prabhuji. So Prabhuji is mentioning that if you know that whatever suffering that you are getting is because of my own past karma as well, it's only because of my past karma, then it actually helps to reduce the suffering. We don't have to blame anyone. Because the other people who are giving you suffering, they are just the instrument of the reaction. So there is no need for actually thinking, I need to actually take a revenge or I need to actually forgive anyone. There is no forgiveness required in that case. Because you know that you are getting the reaction of your own thing. You don't have to forgive anyone.
Then we may think we We may hurt someone and say, oh, that is the reaction of
For
karma.
Then we haven't understood the point that we have to actually apply it to our own thing. Not आईना जब भी उठाया करो खुद देखो फिर दिखाया करो. So when we are actually learning the scriptures, we have to apply that into our own life. We cannot take the shelter of the scriptures and then blame someone else. That we don't want to do. So what is law of karma? So if we have decided that we need to actually know about karma, and if we actually know about karma and law of karma, we can make intelligent choices. Let's try to understand the intricacies. Probably not intricacies. Some basic principles of law of karma, which will help us in understanding many of or answering many of the questions which you had asked. First of all, what is law of karma? Simple. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. We call it Newton's third law. Did Newton create that law? No, he only discovered it. So who created the law? Yeah, the Supreme Lord actually has already created this law. And he was intelligent enough to understand and discover that law. The basic governing principle is, for every action there is an equal and opposite reaction. Or some people say, what you sow, so shall you reap. It is not that you are sowing the seed of a brinjal. My brother likes. No, he doesn't like. But if you sow a seed of a brinjal, you can't get a mango tree out of it. What are you going to get? Brinjal tree. And you are only going to get brinjals only out of it. So, what you are sowing, that is what you are going to get. If you throw a ball on the wall, what are you going to get back? But I wanted flowers, Mataji. You can't get.
You may get the wall.
If you throw flower ball, it will come to flowers.
Yeah. If you throw a hard ball on the wall, you are going to get that hard ball back. If you throw a flower ball or flower at the wall, what you are going to get is a flower. So this is important. If you do good activity, you are going to get good result. If you do bad activity, you are going to get bad result. As simple as that. And this law is unbreakable. It is not that you can just give some rishwat, some corruption that you can do. You have done some sin, like you go to the temple and you say, I have done this, but please forgive me. And you give that half coconut. Mainly you give one coconut, but you want the half coconut back. So in exchange of half coconut, you are asking them to forgive your sinful activity. It doesn't work like that. Prayers will work, we will see that afterwards. But we cannot break God's law. Sometimes we think that as long as no one notices, like in material world, as long as no one has noticed you doing some crime, you are safe. No?
Because Paramatma will be there in your heart.
No, material life, Mataji. Like the police.
Paramatma will be there in their heart.
Hey, but if you break traffic signal, is Paramatma going to give you ticket?
Police will give.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. As long as police hasn't seen that, then you think that, oh, no one has seen, so I'm safe.
Must have been good karma from the past.
It must be a good karma from the past. And that's why no one saw it. But actually, God's law no one can break. If you try to break it, surely you are going to get the result or the reaction of those past karma. For example, this picture, somebody jumping from say 10th floor. So it is not that a child jumps and the child doesn't know, if I jump from the 10th floor, I am going to have I may die, or even sometimes my bones will break. And you say, hey, at least exempt that small child, na? That small child doesn't know. If he jumps, let him be okay. Don't kill him. But if the adult jumps, he should know what he is doing. So give him the reaction. Does it work like that? The gravity works on everyone, right? A small child or adult. Similarly, law of karma works on everyone. Whether you are a child, for children there is a specific situation which I am going to answer little later. But what I am saying is, no matter who you are, the law of karma works on you. Okay? Is Ramon? Okay. So, if a child touches fire, child is going to get burned. If adult touches fire, the adult is also going to get burned. So the result is going to be there. The laws are neutral. Then the law of karma also teaches you that when there is a action that you have done, there will be reaction. But that also means when you see a reaction, you should understand that there was an action done before, even if you cannot see it now. For example, if you go to work on Monday and you see your colleague has his hand in some, like the plaster, immediately first thing that you ask that person, hey, what happened? Isn't it? So that means you have seen the result of the plaster on the hand, like the hand was broken. So looking at the result, you immediately first thing you ask, what was the action that you did because of which this reaction has happened? Result has come. So action has a result, and by seeing the result, you can know that there was an action, even if you do not know which action that was. So sometimes you get the result and you do not know what action you had done. But just from this example you can know that sure enough, there was some action you had done, either in this lifetime or previous lifetimes. So the law of karma is working like this. You know that. And this is also a way, the law of karma is a way of training the subordinates with reward and punishment. So Maya Devi is using this law of karma. Why? Because all of us are trying to be enjoyers and controllers in this material world. You want to be controller, I want to be controller, he or she, everyone wants to be a controller. And everyone wants to be an enjoyer. Now when all these enjoyers and controllers are together, they have to actually follow some rules. Otherwise, you will snatch from someone and you will try to enjoy. There has to be some reaction to it. So if you do act properly, then Maya Devi is saying that okay, you have done properly, so I will give you some reward. But if you break the rule, then you are going to get bad result. And that way you know that if I do more of this is good, if I do more of this, it's not going to be good. I'm going to get more and more reactions, bad reactions. So I shouldn't be doing this. Right? So some of these principles of law of karma, some more. There was a question asked, are all living entities getting karma? No. The animals are not getting any reactions to their actions. But it doesn't mean that a human was there and he accumulated a lot of reactions. Now he become an animal because of that. All the reactions are wiped out. No. The animals can carry forward the reactions, but they don't create new reactions. Why? Simple thing is because they don't have free will. Like they don't have ability to make a lot of choices. From the perspective, if you actually keep some meat and some grass in front of a cow, 100 times you do, 100 different days, you try this. What will you see? Grass only? Or after 99 days you say, Arey boy, every day you are giving me grass only. Let me at least try what is the second thing that you are giving me. Will it do? Never. Now let's put instead of cow a lion there. Grass and some meat. What will happen? 100 days you are giving the same thing. Grass, any days? No, right? Only meat. So that means they are actually acting as per their nature. They do not have that free will to choose, to make a choice. And you give khichdi to a human being, even just for one day, breakfast, lunch and dinner. Just one khichdi for breakfast, lunch and dinner.
Must have been a reaction.
And they will start thinking, Arey, give me something different now. I want some variety. Give me some pizza, give me some sabji or roti, give me some other rice, give me biryani. Something different you give me. Because we human beings have a choice. Humans have a choice. And because humans have this free will to make choices, it's a crossroad that from the animal life we are coming into human life. When you are in animal life, you are not collecting absolutely any reactions, because you are just working in a particular way. But when you become human, you can make a choice. You can decide, like the example that we were talking about before. When you are hungry, you can decide, I want to eat fruits, I want to eat some vegetarian food, I want to eat some meat, or I want to eat some prasadam. So the choices are there. And you have the ability to choose. No one is forcing you that you must do this or you must do that. And because of that, that choice is there. If you have choice, that means you have responsibility. Like, who has said it?
Batman's.
No, not Batman's too.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man's uncle has said, with great responsibility, with great power comes great responsibility, right? It's not a scripture, but it's a good point. With great power comes great responsibility. The animals did not have that power to choose, but humans have the power to choose. Animals, that's why, did not get any responsibility for that, or any result of that, or any reaction of that. But you, because you are able to make choices, you are going to get the result. If you do something bad choice, you are going to get bad result. Good choice, good result. Yes, ma'am.
Prabhuji, in case of Bharat Maharaj, he became deer and he has the choice to go to ashram and stay, no? Then what is...
Very good question. So that is a special scenario. We are talking about general scenarios. Exception proves the rule. So when, 1,000 deers, they only do one particular activity. Bharat Maharaj's case was special because Krishna has already given a promise that Name Bhaktya Pranashyati. So my devotees will never perish. So he has saved, or he has fulfilled his promise by not perishing the consciousness of Bharat Maharaj when he became a deer. So because his consciousness was still intact, that is why he was able to make the choice. But that's an exception. If you are talking about the normal deer doesn't have that the choice. The normal deer is not going to choose that every time I will go to the sages' hermitage only and hear what they are talking about.
But in Kali Yuga also we are hearing some cow is going to ISKCON temple and listening Bhagavad.
Some special cases, mother. Some special cases. But you are not actually seeing all 1,000 cows sitting here and coming to the JUSD programs. Are there any cows here, by the way? I didn't see any. I didn't have introductions. No, cows are not there, Mataji. That means no cows. Did we actually publish the notice to the cows? That we are having this program?
That's why they didn't come.
You didn't send? It's his fault.
Next week. Next week.
Bad karma. Anish.
Don't animal have reactions? Let's suppose if a hunter kills the animal.
Oh, hunter is killing the animal. No? So animals, it is not animals' activity, it is hunter's activity. So the hunter is going to get the reaction.
But you're saying they're paying for the previous reaction.
By unknowingly do some mistakes, how karma will act?
Unknowingly I am coming. Unknowing and knowing has different reaction. Just like in normal law as well, if you are unknowingly has done something, some accident has happened, or you have purposely killed someone, the judge gives different punishment to you. Sometimes if unknowingly you have done some accident and someone has got killed, and as long as you are trying to follow as much as possible, but still the person got killed, you may get like a very light sentence, or in fact sometimes they will free you as well. But if you have killed someone, murdered someone purposely, you are not going to be left. You will be put into jail for lifetime imprisonment. Similarly, the law of karma also looks at time, place and circumstances and gives different result, even if the action is same.
Every day I'm killing so many houseflies at home.
Houseflies you are killing?
Yeah, I'm killing, and also cockroaches also.
Cockroaches as well.
Yeah, flushing them here and there.
Flushing them. What are you going to get? We will come to it probably. Unknowingly, or actually knowingly you are doing, not unknowingly. Knowingly you are doing. So what is the reaction for it? Yes, bro. There is reaction for it. Sorry to say, there is reaction for it. But what kind and how we can avoid, we'll try to cover.
In the Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha example, pastime. So Narada Maharshi goes to insects and birds, so they will get immediately reaction and because of the association of pure devotee. So should we consider that as an exceptional scenario?
Also, when a pure devotee like Narad Muni is going and giving mercy to everyone and they are getting benefited immediately, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha, Sarva Siddhi Hoy. So, what about that? It's a special situation because he is pure devotee and pure devotee can actually give the benefit immediately and they can get purified instantly, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will embrace someone and everyone, like all, they are free of all the reactions. So it is special mercy that they are getting. We are like Shah Rukh Khan getting the PhD without studying anything, or honorary PhDs. But in general, if you require PhD, you can't be like an actor. You think that, oh, Salman Khan got a PhD. I think Salman Khan, Amir Khan and Shah Rukh Khan, all three have got PhDs, I believe. So I will take their example. I will not study. I will just do acting and see if I get PhD. No, 99.9999% of the time you will not get it like that. If you want a PhD, the normal way is study, and then you get a PhD. So we should aim for the normal scenarios. Okay, let's move on for 5 more minutes. Let me at least finish this topic of law of karma. So laws are relative. That is what we are talking about. Relative means it is not the laws are for our relatives. Law is for you, but it is relative in the perspective that it is based on time, place and circumstances. It is not actually the activity, but the consciousness while we are doing that activity that matters. Like the example that we were talking about, by mistake if you have killed someone in an accident, whereas purposely you have murdered someone, the action is same, someone has got killed, but the consciousness was different. If you are able to prove the consciousness, to the Supreme Lord you don't have to prove because He knows what is your consciousness, but even to the judge, if you are able to prove it, you get a different reaction. And it is based on time, place and circumstances. For example, eating grains is fine every day. But tomorrow, which is Ekadashi, eating grain is not fine. Eating grains on Ekadashi gives you a lot of sinful reactions. But in normal, like today, we are going to eat grains. So time is different. Today it is okay. Tomorrow it is not going to be okay because it is Ekadashi tomorrow. So you need to understand that the same activity done at different time is going to get different reactions. What about different circumstances? A thief breaks into your house, like breaks the door or breaks the wall or whatever to get into your house. That is not okay, right? But suppose your house is on fire, somebody is stuck inside and you break the door. Like someone comes and breaks the door and you say, oh, thank you very much, you saved me, right? So the action is same, that you are somebody is coming and breaking the door, but the circumstances was different. So depending on the circumstances, even though the action was same, the result is going to be different. For example, a grahastha having a contact, like a householder having a contact with a woman, or the woman having a contact with the man, of course with the same man and same woman, is okay, because that is allowed. But a sannyasi having a contact in that way is not okay. Action is same, but in some circumstances it is okay, some circumstances it is not okay. So time, place and circumstances, the reactions can be different. But even though there are some, we are saying that it is based on time, place and circumstances, even though we are saying this, there are certain activities which are universally condemned and they are not okay no matter in what circumstances or what time you are doing, which are meat eating, illicit sex, intoxication and gambling. These 4 activities are not okay. And the reason is, as Srimad Bhagavatam says, that the dharma is standing on 4 pillars. And what are those 4 pillars? It is standing on mercy, truthfulness, austerity and cleanliness. So these are the 4 pillars on which dharma is standing. Mercy, truthfulness, cleanliness and austerity. And each of those 4 activities are breaking one of these 4 legs of dharma. That is why no matter in what circumstances, what time you are doing these activities, they will still be considered as sinful activities and you will get bad result. For example, killing an animal and eating or meat eating, it actually breaks the principle of mercy. Because our tongue is this 1 inch or 2 inches maybe maximum length. And after the food goes past that 2 inches, not even 2 inches, because the 2 inches, the different parts have different tastes. So a particular 1 centimeter of the tongue, which is able to taste a particular food, for that much pleasure, 1 centimeter of pleasure, if you are ready to kill an animal, you are of course not merciful. So that is why that is breaking the principle of mercy, and that is why it is not okay. The gambling is actually breaking the principle of truthfulness, and illicit sex is breaking the principle of cleanliness, internal as well as physical as well. And austerity is so difficult to actually maintain without having any control of mind. And if you have intoxication, you lose the control of mind. So what to talk about then doing austerity at that time? So you break these principles of religion by doing these 4 activities. And that is why it is not good to do these activities no matter what circumstances that you are doing. Now next week we are going to talk about reactions of karma, and at that time we will try to look after some of these remaining questions. Possibly I will require 2 more sessions to answer all the questions that you have asked, and maybe more. I don't know how many sessions. We'll try to do as much as we can. So I will stop here because it's 2 minutes to 7. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Good karma.
Good karma. I will not get any reaction from my wife.
It's a collective good karma.
Collective good. Now it is their karma. They are asking me questions.
I used to those 2 minutes. Probably when you are referring to the animals, they won't get any reaction.
They won't get any reaction. Yes.
So that is because of they don't have free will. You mentioned that they don't have free will. Is there any relation with the free will and intelligence?
Oh, is there any relation between free will and intelligence? So, higher intelligence that when we actually talk about, we also say that human beings have higher intelligence. And that intelligence is actually from the making the wise choices. But we will say that most of the so-called intelligent human beings are not making any right choices. They are just going by their nature. So they are living as bad as animal life. So what about them? So yes, human beings have intelligence, higher intelligence, by which we can learn the scriptures and we can make the choices by which we can change our modes or change our nature. I will discuss probably in the next session a little bit more. Probably it is not a topic for 1 minute. But yes, intelligence is involved. Human beings have higher intelligence by which they can make the choices by which they can change their modes from ignorance to passion to goodness and to pure goodness. And that is how the intelligence plays some part. Yes, Rohit Prabhu?
God has given us discrimination powers.
Yeah, discrimination power, which is part of the intelligence.
Which is bad. That is the difference between the animals and us.
That's very good. That's right.
Why do animals not have free will?
Why do they not have free will? It is they are designed like that. They are created like that. They don't have the choice, but he is asking why they don't have. I'm saying that they are designed like that. For example, you can't ask this question, why this is not this bottle, why it is not a computer? Because it is a bottle. And this is a computer. So computer has a different function and the bottle has a different function. So similarly, the different animals have different functions and they are designed in a particular different way. And they are designed, like each animal is designed to fulfill a particular desires that we have. So to give that facility abundantly, for example, if someone has the desire to eat meat, Now they have already in human life eaten meat, and that is why at the end of the life they are getting some reaction, and by which suppose they get an animal life. So in animal life they are given the choice that okay, now you eat meat whole of your life. Try to fulfill your desire as much as you can, so that at least your desire will be quenched little bit. And then when you again get the human life, you don't do like that again. So with that hope that they are designed in a way that yes, it is a lower life, but after that, at least when you come back, you will have your desire satisfied little bit. Madhusudan Prabhu, you had some question?
No, on that point, from a biological perspective, the size of the neocortex is better than the ability to have.
Okay. So Prabhuji is giving some scientific reason why some don't have. But the question would be coming, then why humans were giving that particular size of the brain and not animals? So that is, they're designed like that. Right? Okay, any last? Rahul Prabhu.
Prabhuji, what we can do so we can like get free from this karma cycle?
Very good. That is, I'm going to cover next week.
Prabhuji, you're not giving Mataji's chances for questions.
Oh, that's cheating. That is a bad karma. What is your question?
So Prabhuji, because if somebody has a very good life right now and they're not following the 4 regulatory principles and they think that they're enjoying their life, this is one life you've got, living to the fullest, and then they, because of the bad karmas, they end up becoming an animal. But then that's okay, right? Because they don't remember anything. They are living as an animal in that life.
Yeah, very good question.
Then why would I?
That if someone is thinking that they are enjoying, I am not suffering, I have everything and I am enjoying. And what if, like if I say that oh, you become an animal in the next life because of that? Okay, who cares? Even if I become animal, I don't remember, I am enjoying like that. So where is the consequence? That is why I said that when you are animal, you can't think all of these things. It is only in human life you have this intelligence by which you can think that oh, when you actually become an animal, after that you have to take so many lifetimes, even coming back to the human life, then you will have an ability to go back to Godhead. And if somebody says that I don't want to go back to Godhead, I just want to remain here, then we cannot do anything. So that means they will remain here and they will keep going through the suffering. And even if somehow or the other by previous good activities we are enjoying now, but we need to understand that we are doing some bad activities now, which we are going to suffer in the next life or in this life itself. So the suffering is coming and it is for sure. So that is why using this little intelligence that we have, we should try to understand that even if I am enjoying at this point in time, I am not suffering, the suffering is awaiting me. After some time, it is going to come. And at that time, it will be so difficult. So I should actually prepare for that time now itself. And we see those kind of people in every area of life. For example, some people save for retirement. But in New Zealand, hardly anyone saves for retirement, right? They will, whatever comes, they will just finish everything. Why? Because the government will take care of me. Right? Who's paying the government? I have to pay, you have to pay, you have to pay the tax so that they will take care. But anyway, the point is, some people are only short-term focused and some people will focus little bit longer term. And those who are thinking little bit longer term, they actually get better results. Even from our normal materialistic point of view. So using the same logic, don't think the short term, don't have the short-term vision that I am enjoying now, so it is fine. We need to actually think about little bit long term. We can see that I am enjoying this time, but I can see many people suffer. That means there is a possibility that I will also get suffering for future. I am enjoying now, let me do the actions properly now so that in future as well, I can accumulate some at least good activities, good reactions, not activities, good reactions. If not transcendental, at least some good reactions. And that is little bit having longer term vision. And that is much better than just thinking like this. But those who are like, I just want to have this short-term vision, nothing much can be done about them. They are going to suffer in the future. And at that time, they will understand. Right? Okay.
Sanivas Prabhuji has a question.
Prashadam is not ready for serving. We can take one more question.
So,
No, I cannot see.
It's ready already.
It's ready. One last question and we will go ahead. Yes, Prabhuji. Sannyas Prabhuji is anyway online. I will answer his question offline.
I thought that humans would also lose free will.
Very good question. Whether humans can lose free will? Yes, they lose free will to some extent. For example, and I'll probably explain that in the next session a little bit more, but just briefly, if you have predominantly mode of ignorance, you have little free will. Predominantly in passion, you have little bit more free will. In goodness, you have more. And you are in transcendental mode of goodness, pure goodness, then you have even more free will. So the free will is always there, but it may be little or little more or more like that. So, but always in no matter what kind of situation, even you are lowest of or the pure ignorance person as well, you will still have some free will. But it is little, very little. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.